This is PPC Zone, October 2024, Perfect PPC Pairings. I'm your host, Jill Saskin-Gales. I use the pronouns she and her. I'm a Google Ads coach, ex-Googler, and the founder of Inside Google Ads. I created PPC Zone in 2022 to elevate new perspectives and insights in our industry. PPC Zone is exclusively sponsored by Optimizer, one of the leading automation PPC management suites to help you run your Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and paid social ads. Thanks to Optimizer, I can continue to bring you this live global event for free each month so we can continue to elevate new perspectives and insights in our industry. If you haven't checked out Optimizer's latest study on Performance Max, please open a new tab right now and type in optimizer.com/blog. That's Optimizer, OPTMYZR.com/blog. You'll thank me later. Next up in the zone, this speaker comes from a background in travel and hospitality and was recently named a Cynopsis Rising Star in marketing. She's based in New York, and she's about to share her perspective on a different perfect pair, audiences and creative. Please welcome Brooke Abbott.
Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to going through what I believe is our new secret weapon, audiences and creative. So my goal today is to make sure that I communicate how important an audience-based strategy is and how important we can execute that through creative. It's going to be the most powerful tool that we have as search continues to change. So how I plan to do that is I want to remind us all that our customers are human beings. The search landscape is trending towards the signals that are more powerful than keywords alone. And I have some results that are going to show how this can help your business. So audiences are human beings. Customers are human beings. And although we really like to think we are logical, rational, and take time to make decisions, more often than not, 95% of the time, we're actually making them based on instinct. And so keeping that in mind is really important when you're creating your ads that are meant to stir those behavioral triggers and really call attention to those underlying instincts. Next is really the state of search. There's no avoiding the conversation around broad match and PMax, and those are deeply reliant on audience signals. In Google's own definition of broad match, it highlights the fact that your creative, your landing page, and the signals of those who are searching for your product are really important in finding and continuing the success of those keywords. And PMax, it's really founded on our conversion and goals, but the base is only amplified by strong creative and audience signals. And so in order to strengthen our PMax performance, we really need to think about the interplay between creative and the audiences that we provide to it. So I want you to consider this scenario. Say you wake up, you log into your Google UI, and you see that all the keywords are no longer active. You can't turn them on, you can't use them. So what is left? What do you have to work with? And it's no surprise, but my answer is our audiences and our creative. When keywords are no longer our signals for intent, creative is going to be the future of our performance optimization. So our audiences are who is most important to us, and our creative should be what encourages action, tapping into both those instinctual beliefs as well as the logical components. And by doing this, creative has the power to influence your target customers. And with that comes two benefits: increasing your efficiencies, as well as training the algorithm to replicate those results. With Google, data in is data out. And so the creative we feed it will ultimately guide the algorithm to seek out and target similar users. So here's how you can do that. Step one, create customer personas. It's really important to identify what are their beliefs, what are their values, what are the things that resonates with them deeply that taps into that 95% of instinct. My agency, we use this data profile to really understand the values, drivers, and even what comes down to their routine. And this is really the foundation that you will use. Second is developing a creative hypothesis. This is really where you're going to start to identify what language works to capture those audiences' attention and really drive performance in a way that optimizes your campaigns best. And one of the ways you can do this is really tapping into what Google already has. There's some great audience insights. I've used it personally for identifying which creative we should create new variations of, what's working, and start to incorporate those into ad variation tests or A/B tests as a whole across our strategies. And finally, it's really important to set clear goals for this approach. We had a client who really wanted to increase conversions from a specific customer persona. That was empty nesters who had disposable income and were looking to travel spontaneously. And so what we did was we created these value-based creatives and launched those alongside our evergreen ads. And typically, we saw lower efficiencies from these types of audiences. And so in turn, Google was optimizing away from those. So our goal was threefold: increase volume, increase efficiencies, and make the client happy. And what we can see is that the results speak for themselves. We saw a 30% increase in our impressions. We saw an improvement in both our click-through rate and our conversion rate. So this really speaks to, the goals that we set up were clear, defined, and measurable. And so my ask to you is to best prepare for your keywordless world, is to prioritize an audience-focused strategy, using creative testing, and really get ingrained in the messaging that you have in your campaigns. So to summarize, step 1, know your audience. Step 2, develop engaging creative. And step 3 is develop clear, concise, and measurable goals. And all of this should set you on a path to feel confident when keywords phase out. And thank you so much. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. Excited to connect.
Thank you so much, Brooke, for sharing your unique perspective and insights with us in the Zone. And if you'd like to connect with Brooke Abbott, you can find her on LinkedIn. To learn more about PPC Zone and our speakers, or to apply to speak at an upcoming event, visit ppc.zone. I'm your host, Jill Saskin-Gales. You can follow me on LinkedIn to stay up to date on future events. And thank you one more time to Optimizer, our exclusive sponsor, for supporting our mission to elevate new perspectives and insights in our industry. I look forward to seeing you next time in the Zone.